Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Cincy game hunting. And my voice is kind of raspy right now because this is the morning, and I'm not a morning person. I work nights, and I'm hitting up a swap meet today. I was gonna hit a garage sale today, but my brain would not allow me to get up that early. And by the time I woke up, the garage sale would have already started, and people have already picked it over. So, it is what it is. We're going to the swap meets today. There's two of them in town. I'm gonna try and get to both of them. See what we get. All right, we make our way in, and you got to pay a little fee to get into each of the swap meets in town. It's like $1 or $2, nothing special. But we get inside, we start working our way around the swap meet, and there's a lot of vendors outside. And outside is really where you get your best deals usually. A lot of the indoor vendors are charging like retail prices and stuff like that. But we wander around for a little bit. Don't really see much going on, but here's a couple games. Nothing really special though, just a couple of the 360 games. Nothing that I'm really interested in. All right, we work our way around a little more. I caught a couple more games over here. Once again, it's just a bunch of nonsense. A couple of PC games, some like a Wii Fit and Wii Year Shape. Nothing really I want to go out and grab. It's all sports games and whatnot. But you gotta wing through the weeds to get the good stuff. This one was interesting. I actually walked up to this booth, and she had a couple of games on the table, and she had No Man's Sky for $10, which is not a bad price, but it's a flea market, so I always got to ask if I can get it for less. I actually already own it digitally on the Xbox One, but I wanted to try and get a physical copy on the PS4, so I asked, can you do 5? And she's like, nope, can't move the prices at all on this table. And I'm like, okay, moving on. Walking up to this table, I saw a whole bunch of things lined up together, but it was all a bunch of like third-party controllers and whatnot. There might have been a regular Xbox controller that was actually legit, but most of it was just nonsense and garbage. And most of the games in his booth were just nonsense. I don't really care about games. That Final Fantasy caught my eye, but I don't really play the online games. It was Final Fantasy 14. Godfather already got that, Puzzle World I thought about grabbing, but I passed on it. Here's where I thought I was going to get a good deal. Halo Master Chief Collection was loose, but as you can see on the disc underneath it has some water on it. And I checked out the disc after asking him what he wanted for it, and it was pretty water damaged on the bottom of the disc. He wanted $3 for it, but I didn't know if it was going to work, and it wouldn't be tradable if it was damaged, so had to pass on that. I also almost grabbed this Wario Smooth Moves. I actually don't have that in my collection yet, but then I realized it was just an empty case. So that got passed on as well. Yeah, I was kind of bummed out by that because I thought I was going to get Wario Smooth Moves for a good price, and he was trying to sell it for $5 for just the case. So, negative on that. All right, coming up to the first pickups of the day. There's a couple of Xbox games in here. This is a 360 game. It's Halo Anniversary Edition. Actually in pretty good condition. He had them marked at $10 a piece. So I grabbed this and also found a copy of Republic Commando, also in good condition. And both of them were $10. I asked him if he could do two for 15, and he said he could. Holy DVD Central Batman. That's one of the things you see a lot of at the swap meets is tons of DVDs, and you have to kind of fish out the games in between. Actually found the games towards the end of the table, and honestly, they had a good chunk of stuff. I really should have gotten this PopCap arcade. I kind of overlooked it, and I think I probably should have grabbed it in hindsight. But yep, hindsight's 2020. But this is a game that I really wanted to grab at a pawn shop not too long ago, and it was all damaged up when I went to the pawn shop. So to find this one was pretty cool at the swap meet. All right, I got a little excited at this booth. I found a couple of games that I actually really wanted, and unfortunately, they were either not in the case or the wrong game was in the case, and the game in question was nowhere to be found. I guess there was a kid manning this. It looked like he's like maybe like 6 or 7 years old, and he was all excited. I think he thought I was going to buy all his games from him, and I'm like, bro, do you realize none of these games are actually in the cases, right? And he looked at me like I didn't know what I was talking about, and I'm like, okay, moving on. All right, walking over here, I actually saw a game that caught my eye. It was, I believe, God of War Ascension. Yeah, there it is. And he wouldn't budge off the $15 asking price, and that was a little more than I wanted to spend on it. That's the one God of War game I think that I don't have. I think that one and God of War 3 were the only two that I didn't have in the collection. Oh boy, this guy has games listed as $5 to $7, $7 for the new ones, and $5 for the ones that aren't new. So I'm like, I looked at it, and they're all like the new ones were just like $5 games anyway that I could probably buy at Walmart. So it wasn't a big deal. I did see some Wii U games at the end, so I figured, okay, for $5, whatever, I'll do those. And he comes over and says, "Oh, those are 7," and I'm like, "They're not new." He's like, "Yeah, but they're 7." I'm like, these games aren't even worth $5. Why would I give you 7 for them? Anyway, yeah, needless to say, I left them behind. Here's a booth that I didn't really find any games at, but I found this cool little trinket here. It's actually a luggage tag. And the funny thing is that the controller is actually not oriented properly. I think the start and select button should be at the bottom of it, they're at the top. Whatever. Found a couple games there, but nothing really special. All right, here's a booth that I actually grabbed a game at that I thought was going to be a nice little flipper to GameStop for $8. Oh, but there's Black Ops 2 inside, so it just got even better. It actually has Black Ops 1 turned the other way. So yeah, picked both these up. I told the guy both games were in the case, and he was fine with it and just charged me one price for it. I'll tell you that when we get to the wrap-up. All right, not too much going on this table. They had a good chunk of games, but it was all stuff that I already got or stuff that I find at the thrift stores fairly often. So I pretty much passed on everything here. Nothing really caught my eye, but he did have a good chunk of stuff. I got excited when I saw that pink Wiimote, but it was not a Motion Plus, so he did not want to pay the asking price for it. All right, time to work our way inside. Usually the best deals are on the outside, but you can occasionally find some good stuff when you sneak into the indoor part. All right, first booth we go into inside, and this guy is offering $5 for a game, and he says if I get more, I can get a cheaper price. So I ended up buying 2 games off of him. One of them was Mega Man X7. The other one was a game that you can't see in the video because I unfortunately didn't see it. It was kind of like hidden behind everything, and I found it after I already found Mega Man, and I turned the camera off. So I apologize I didn't show that in the video, but you'll see it in the wrap-up. All right, walking into another booth here. This guy just kind of said make my own prices. You know, he said if I can get 3 games together, I can do them for $10. So I grabbed a couple of games here. Cubic's not a really expensive game, but it's a game that I did not have in the collection. So I grabbed that one. You'll see right here. PS1 game that I didn't have. It's only like a $4 game, but whatever. I'm kind of just throwing some things together. Had to kind of work my way around this old guy who was sitting in a chair right in front of the games. He just said, if you need me to move, make me move. I'm like, I'm not going to make you move, old timer. It's all good. But I can reach behind you. So yeah, we grabbed a couple more games back here. Ended up finding Battle for Bikini Bottom. I think it was down towards the bottom over there. But yeah, he actually had a copy of Black Ops as well. But he wanted like premium prices, like $10 for it. I'm like, dude, I can't even get that much back for it, so it's not really worth the time. So I passed on Black Ops. But yeah, grabbed Battle for Bikini Bottom right here. You can see this, and found one more game to fill out the 5 for 10, or sorry, 3 for $10, and got a good deal. All right, working our way further into the swap meets indoor section, and this guy has a nice game store. He's a little pricey sometimes when it comes to stuff, but he has this nice 2 for 10 wall that you can kind of throw some games together and find some good deals once in a while. I didn't really see anything that was catching my eye. If you guys see anything that I missed, feel free to comment down below. But yeah, it's kind of a mishmash. I apologize, I'm kind of going through it fast, but I didn't really see much on the wall today, so I just passed on trying to get from the 2 for 10 deals. But like I said, if you guys see something, let me know, and maybe I can grab it next time I go in. And he actually had some Vita games over here in the case. Unfortunately, they were all marked about $5 to $10 to $15 over what the actual value was. He did have Madden for $10, but I had just gotten that recently, so I didn't need that one. That was actually a good price for that one. I asked him if he'd come down on any of the prices on his games, and he said, no, I'm actually probably going to take all these out of there and just throw them in a box and let them sit for a while because they're probably going to all go up in value soon. I was like, all right, do what you got to do, man. I got excited when I saw $1 games at this booth, but it was all garbage. All right, here is another video game reseller booth. I've actually found some good deals in this one before, but I wasn't really finding too much on the racks today. He was pretty much on par, a little bit higher than, you know, starting prices on a couple of them, but nothing really caught my eye over here. But I got to the glass case, and he actually had a couple of Vita games in there, and like I said, he was actually selling them for cheaper than the other guy was. So I went over and grabbed a couple games. I saw Dungeon Hunter Alliance and Little Deviants. So yeah, found those for cheaper than I could find at the other shop, so I grabbed those up. Here's one more booth that I found that had a 3 for $10 wall. Grabbed 3 games off this wall to make the little discount deal, and it wasn't anything special, but games that I didn't have in the collection. Like this one I actually saw outside. I just missed out on it, but I grabbed it for $3 here. And I found 2 other games to throw in to make it worth my while. But yeah, anytime I find somebody selling stuff for like 3 for 10, I'm always going to try and find a mix and match to make it work. All right, last booth on my way out the door, and I got excited because he had a ton of games over here, and they were all brand new, but they were all priced as brand new games. Like, I could probably find these games for cheaper at Walmart. Don't know why you would pay a premium to buy these at a flea market, but hey, whatever. We move on, and that's probably gonna wrap it up for the flea market. All right, we got a nice big sack of games for not a lot of money. Swap meets are always fun to do. You got to be able to get there early though to get the stuff outside, because a lot of times the stuff indoors is a little overpriced. I did find some good deals indoors as well, but you definitely have to do your due diligence and get outside. And I ran out of time. I need to go home. My wife needs to go somewhere, but I want to hit a game store before I leave the area. There's one in Lebanon that I don't get a chance to go to very often, so I'm gonna sneak over there. I will try to hit the other swap meet sometime another week, but yeah, let's go over to Game Corner. All right, snuck into Game Corner real quick, and there was a PS Vita game that I wanted to grab over there. I don't get a chance to come over to this shop very often because it's not really anywhere near my house, but they had one Vita game that I was really interested in grabbing. It's PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. If y'all don't know, it's kind of like the Smash Brothers of PlayStation characters, so it was only 10 bucks, and that's the going rate for a loose cart, so I'll probably end up finding a case to complete this with later on. But yeah, totally down to pick that up. I said Vita games are getting super hard to find, and they're gonna get even harder to find. I don't know if y'all know about this, but they actually just announced, or there has been that PlayStation hasn't announced it yet, but there was an announcement from a source that said that they're gonna close down the PSP, the PS Vita, and the PS3 stores, online stores. So pretty soon, buying the carts is the only way you're gonna be able to play them. So I'm trying to grab as many as I can while I can, and grab one I wanted today. All right, guys, we are back in the game room to do a wrap of everything we found at the flea market today. And I'm going to try and hit the flea market about once every 2 to 3 weeks, just to see if I can find some new stuff. There's like 3 or 4 of them in town, so I'm going to kind of like go bouncing back and forth between them. Andrew actually enjoys going with me, so I'm going to bring him along hopefully in the upcoming videos. But yeah, we found a bunch of games today, and a nice big stack, and everything was $10 or less, so that's how I like it. First of all, probably my favorite find of the day. This luggage tag. This was $1. It was brand new, and it's literally just a luggage tag. It's nothing special, but cool little trinkets like this I love finding at flea markets. It's fun, and put that on my suitcase next time I fly. All right, so this one I actually found on a table outside, and I was like, Black Ops, cool, I'll grab that. And I opened it up, and it actually had Black Ops, whoops, and Black Ops 2 inside. I was transparent. I told the guy, hey, there's 2 copies of Black Ops in here. One was Black Ops and Black Ops 2, and he said, well, like, what do you think it's fair for it? I'm like, it's up to you, man. What do you want? And he says $3, and I'm like, love it. $3 for Black Ops and Black Ops 2, and both of these will be going to GameStop pretty quickly. They trade in together for over 20 bucks, so that was a nice find. Here's one of the first things we picked up on the outside. These were both $10, and I asked the guy, would you do 2 for 15? And he said, sure. And come to realize I don't really need Halo Anniversary Edition because it's on the Master Chief Collection. I totally forgot about it. So this was kind of a dumb buy by me, but whatever, it was $7.50. I'm not worried about it. It's in good condition, so I can trade it in and get the money back. But Republic Commando, I believe, now that I think about it, I might have this one as well. I thought I had the Platinum Hits version, and I'm remembering back to one of my first videos, and I think I found the Black Case Edition in that video. So both of these were games that I already had, but they're both games that are $15 or more. I think this one goes for like 18, this one goes for about 15, so it was still a good deal. I just realized after the fact that I don't need them, so there's that. We also picked up this one for $3. It was a random one that I found, and I actually found it at a pawn shop a while back, but it was all scratched up and I couldn't pick it up. It's called Lucha Libre Heroes del Ring, and it's one of those wrestling games. It's like the Mexican wrestling, and I've never seen this kind of game before. I didn't know it existed until I saw it at that pawn shop. So yeah, I'm gonna pick that up for $3. It's no case or anything like that, but it's fun to play. I'm gonna try it out. All right, inside. We ended up finding a bunch of places that gave us deals for like buy 3 for 10. We got Cubics on the PlayStation 1. This was part of a 3 for 10. And it doesn't go for much, like $4 I think. So, but it's a PS1 game I didn't have, so I was down to grab that. Frontlines Fuel of War on the 360. A random 360 game that I've never seen before, so you know, I want to pick that up. Said ended up being $3.33 for that. And the third game of that 3 for 10 was SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, which used to be worth a good chunk, but it's kind of gone down since the remake came out. But yeah, picking that up for $3. Gonna do that every time. Another 3 for 10 that I found was another booth. Another PS1, actually, well, I'll show you the PS2 games first. Sky Odyssey, which I love the airplane fighting games and stuff like that. These airplane fighting simulators are fun. It's complete, actually. It's got the case. I actually didn't see the manuals in there at first, but it was hidden in the case art, and I stuck it back in there, and I figured out why it was stuck in there. It's in one of those, like, Blockbuster cases where the lock mechanism kind of blocks the manual from fitting in properly, so you have to kind of scrunch it in there. But that was $3. Neopets: The Darkest Fairy. Another game I've never heard of. Looks like a 3D platformer. So, yeah, picking that up for $3 as well. Random game. Like I said, if I see random games that I haven't heard of before, I'm going to grab them every time. And to fill the 3 for 10 out, I grabbed a random one that I thought maybe Andrew and me could mess around with and just... I don't know anything about it, but it was actually a really good deal for $3. Disney Kitchen. It's Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse cooking up stuff in the kitchen. I think it's like a $12 to $15 game, so even if we don't get into it, you can trade this in for dirt cheap, and yeah, pick that up for $3 as well. Here's one where in the video you saw me pick up the first part of it, and you didn't see me pick up the second part of it. So Mega Man X7 was on the table, and the guy said his games were $5. He says, if you buy more than that, I'll give you a deal. So I only found 2 games that I wanted, but you only saw this one get picked up. Mega Man X7. It's just a game, no manual, but yeah, I'm going to pick that up for cheap. I think it actually might be part of one of the collections that I have already, but I love Mega Man. I'll grab any Mega Man game I find, and it's probably my favorite IP of all video games. So, but yeah, Mega Man X7 on the PS2, and he gave it to me for $4 because I picked up another game, and you didn't see this in there because it was actually behind this guy that was sitting there, and I didn't see it until I already turned the camera off. But A Boy and His Blob on the NES. This is a game that I wanted a lot when I was growing up. I never found it, you know, searching around for games and whatnot. And when I was a kid, you know, games were expensive. You didn't buy a bunch of them at a time. But yeah, this is a really cool game. If you ever, I don't know if you ever haven't played it before, you basically feed jelly beans to this blob, and each jelly bean has a different attribute that it gives the blob. So like one of them will turn them into a ladder, one of them will have them do other things. It's really cool. It's just like a really cool concept, and I think they remade it for like the newer consoles. But yeah, a boy and his blob on the NES. I haven't picked up an NES game in a long time, and that was super stoked to grab that for $4. So awesome, awesome. Last pickups from inside. I went to another guy that had a storefront almost, and he had some Vita games on the shelf. There was another guy that had a bunch of Vita games, but he was charging probably $10 to $15 more than they're worth, and I'm at a flea market. I'm not going to pay premiums for that. Sorry. These were right at price charting. I mean, he wanted 18 originally. I guess I offered him 15 for the two of them because that's what they were really worth. So, picked up Little Deviants on the PS Vita. It's only like a $5 game. He had $8 on it, so when he took $5, I was fine with that. And game I didn't have yet for the Vita. And the other one was actually in the actual case. Dungeon Hunter Alliance. Yeah. Don't know much about this. I think it's an RPG type game. Looks like almost kind of like a the style of like Diablo almost. But yeah, Dungeon Hunter Alliance on the Vita for $10, I believe. So you already saw the Vita game I picked up at the game store. I'm not going to review that one again. But yeah, good time at the flea market. And honestly, I said, guys, we're going to try and make that probably once every week or two, or probably 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to try and hit up a flea market. So yeah, that's going to be a regular occurrence on the channel, hopefully in the coming weeks. I try to go to garage sales, but I can't. My sleep is so precious. I don't go off work until after midnight. So to get up early on weekends to go to garage sales is just not my thing. I do it occasionally, but it's really hard for me to get out of bed that early. But the flea markets, I can usually get there around 9 and still find a bunch of good deals and not be worried about it. But you have to get up really early for the garage sales. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you coming out with me. If you like the video, let me know in the bottom. I'm going to try and do some more flea market runs like this. And feel free to drop a comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do that too. Until next time, guys, keep hunting.